Everyone's talking about optimizing these days. Hack your sleep, hack your morning, optimize your health, optimize your productivity. What if it's not these big habits that are running your life? What if it's the small things that are really making the difference? The clues are everywhere. It's the small actions that you take every day that are actually determining the results that you're getting. I learned this the hard way. Years ago, I was in the back row of a yoga class. We were in lizard pose. So picture a deep lunge, elbows on the floor, and I was forcing my head to the ground. And I looked up, and nobody else seemed to be pushing as hard as I was. And then it hit me. As you do one thing, you do all things. Now, I didn't make this up. This is a Zen saying. As you do one thing, you do all things. If I'm pushing and forcing on my mat, I'm pushing and forcing somewhere else in my life. As you do one thing, you do all things. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And so in this video, I want to show you where to look for those small things, where to look for the clues. And this isn't some big, great reset. This isn't some overhaul of your morning routine. This is about looking at the small actions that are happening every day, every hour, that could leave some clues as to why you're getting the results that you're getting. So let's break this down. This may not seem obvious, but how you drive to work, maybe how you play with your kids, how you prepare yourself to go to bed at night, maybe how you're prepping for the meeting, how fast you talk, how fast you walk, how fast you eat, may also be showing you how fast you're moving through really important tasks, or perhaps not checking details. All of the little things are really big things, and they can show you and point you to why and how you're getting the results that you're getting in your life. So this is what mindfulness is. It's noticing, paying attention on purpose, moment to moment, without judgment. And so without judgment is a really key here. We're not here to beat ourselves up any more than we're already doing. This is about becoming familiar with the small and very subtle habits and patterns that are happening every hour on the hour in our lives. It's about noticing where you're forcing and pushing, where you're over trying, where you're always fixing, where you're judging yourself or doubting, when you're holding back, when you're pushing forward too hard, when you're over controlling, when you're running away. There's a lot of things that we're doing all day long that could give us clues to how we're doing the big things. So remember, how you're doing the small things are leaving clues to how you're doing the big things. And so this practice that I'm offering here for you today is about paying attention to the small stuff, because it's not small stuff. So what I tell my yoga students all the time is how you practice yoga is how you're living out there. So we have this opportunity to practice and to become aware and really familiar with all of those little things that we're doing. The judgments, the forcing, the pushing, the trying, the fixing, the controlling. We can see that on our mats. And when we see that and admit it on our mats, then we can start to look for those clues out there in our lives. As you do one thing, you do all things. So maybe it's not yoga for you, maybe it's how you walk in the morning or your workout. So let me tell you what really hit home for me. When I was in my 40s, I was so busy. Kids, business, work life, home life, social life, all of it. There was no time for anything. And what really suffered were my dinners. I didn't meal prep. I didn't plan. I threw something together last minute. And more often than not, I either overcooked or burned the dinner for my family. And this happened for years until I started to really become aware. What is going on, Cara? Why can't you slow down and prep and prepare a dinner and not overcook it? And I started to notice that during those dinner hours, I was multitasking. I was trying to get the last email in. I was trying to answer somebody. I was trying to get a quick walk in. Whatever it was, I wasn't attending to dinner. I wasn't caring for how I made dinner. My family suffered for sure. Once I became aware of that, I started to look at other areas of my life. Because as you do one thing, you do other things, right? So if I'm not giving the time and the intention and attention and care to how I prepare dinner, where else am I doing this? And I started to notice that it was in my work life. It was how I rushed through time at my business. It was how I rushed through conversations. It's how I tried to multitask when I really should have slowed things down, done one thing at a time, and done it much better. So again, this practice isn't about beating yourself up. It's about being honest. And it's about using certain areas of your life to become more aware and awake of how you're doing other things. And so here's your practice for the week. Notice one area of your life, one thing. Oftentimes, a good place to start is during transitions. Notice how you move from your home to your car. Notice how you move from your car to your office. Notice how you move in between tasks, in between meetings, in between something, either at home or at work. We can learn a lot about how fast we're moving through life, how attentive we are to life when we start to look at these transitions. Another thing you can do is look like I did at how you prep dinner, how you're waking up in the morning, how you're prepping for sleep. The small stuff is leaving clues for the bigger things. And you don't need to overanalyze anything. The whole point is not to judge yourself. We've got enough of that going on. But just to become aware of how you're transitioning, aware of how you're speaking, aware of how you're preparing, aware of how you're listening. You don't have to pick them all, just pick one. Start to pull that apart a little bit and notice, is this the way I want to live? And then as we start to make adjustments in these smaller things, guess what happens? We become so much more aware in the bigger things. So the whole point is not to fix yourself. It's to become aware of yourself. Start small. Start with the easy stuff. Start with the stuff that doesn't have huge consequences. And then recognize that if you're doing it there, you're doing it elsewhere. And as you start to pay attention in one area, other areas are going to be more highlighted for you. So once again, as you do one thing, you do all things. Be willing to look. I promise you, from my own experience, it's really worth taking the time to notice. It's really worth recognizing that there are clues in every area of your life for how you're living, for the results you're getting, for what you're not getting. The clues are there for you. Start to notice them. I hope this was helpful. If it was, please make sure you hit like and subscribe. Leave a comment. So let us know what you're going to focus on in the comments. Give us some ideas. And then please make sure you hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.